Hey guys, welcome to another adventure. Today we are outside of the small town of Sedona, Arizona, attempting to climb Lost Mountain. And we're going to see some pretty large pictographs panels along the way, so should be a pretty cool adventure. Lots of things to see along the way. Nice weather, but it's very windy. I know the camera doesn't show scale, but look at those cliffs coming off of Bear Mountain there. Those got to be at least 1,000 feet tall. Just completely sheer. Underneath this little overhang here, you can see there's some old wood there. At least it looks old. And an ancient structure. I mean, a lot of this is restacked, but some of it on that side looks pretty original. I think I can see some mortar in there. And as always, please be respectful. Don't walk on top of the walls or touch pictographs or petroglyphs, but you can see the ceiling is blackened from fires. And there's another smaller cave also in this overhang here. And there's some old wood, probably from a cowboy or something. Maybe some moonshine hideout. I don't know. We're here at the first pictograph panel, but there's some little caves in here and a wall. Ceiling's blackened. Another cave in there, could have been used as a shelter. Then you can actually see some steps carved in right there. One there, probably to get on top of this rock here. And I'll go around to show you what's on top, to avoid stepping on any petroglyphs. So you can see there's some pretty cool pictographs right there. I don't really know what any of these mean. Lots of symbols. You can see the top of the wall. But what's interesting, and some people miss this, on this side of this rock, they're just covered in petroglyphs. And it's unfortunately very worn down from people walking on it. But you can see, if you look closely, there's a human figure right there. And just, there's like a snake looking thing, some little feet actually. I don't know if you can see that. Right there's a foot. Another little foot right there. So, pretty interesting stuff right here. There's actually some more pictographs there. We're nearing the other pictograph panel, but On the way here is an agave roasting pit. You can see, because it's really built up, and the dirt here is just black from fires. And all the rocks that were burned. And there's a pit in the middle of it where they would have roasted the agave. Okay, we've reached the second pictograph panel, and there are cameras here. So please, I can't say it enough. Respect the area. Don't start coming here and screaming, as this is a sacred space. And unfortunately, this has been heavily vandalized. But you can see some of the pictographs remain here. And these unfortunately have been chalked, but you can see the original behind the chalk. Really cool circle right there. And you know, these are very well documented, known sites. I'm not claiming to find them or anything, but just thought it would be cool to show you if you hadn't seen these. And this is the main panel right here. Unfortunately, lots of chalk, but lots of human figures. I'll get on top of this boulder to give you a better look. So feel free to pause the video and give this a good look, but you can see there's like a line of animals or something going across right there. Almost look like deer, coyote. I'm no expert, but just what it looks like. Very interesting. Even some down in there. Some red ones over there. And there's actually a spring just around this corner, so this could possibly be a reason why they marked this area, is that the spring is there. Down in that dark cave is where the spring is. And there's more pictographs along here. Another thing I noticed is those little towers over there. I actually wanted to go over there and maybe climb some of them, but there you can see looking straight to here, so I don't know if that has any connection. Again, I'm no professional. I'm just a random kid, but I'm just thinking out loud here. Here you can see some sharpening grooves from them sharpening tools on this sand, because it's like sandpaper. And right there you can see how it's smoothed out, so maybe that's sort of a metate. More sharpening grooves. You can see there's some drilled out bits there, but it's just water seeping out of the cliffs. So that could be a major reason why there's pictographs here. Makes sense. So it might look like fall because these oak trees' leaves turn yellow and fall off in spring. It's one of the rare trees that do that. So it looks like fall even though it's spring. Lots of oaks in here. Cool little anthill here. They pick all of the same size rock and then they turn it into this gravel. There's our main objective for the day, Lost Mountain South, way up there. The special thing about this canyon is we're surrounded by these like 2,000-foot cliffs on all sides. So now we turn off from the main Hartwell Canyon. Keeps going actually, all the way back, and then there's Torweep Tower in there. But today we are turning off into the sidewash to get up to the saddle between the two Lost Mountains, and then we'll climb up to Lost Mountain South. It's nice and green in this wash here, but there's also a lot of these plants that could be poisonous hemlock. We're not sure if they are or not, so we're just trying to avoid them. It's nice and green through here, but it is very rough. Sorry for the lack of recording. We're near the saddle now. I can see it up through there, so from the saddle it's pretty short scramble to the top. Whew. This is what we're dealing with here. No sane person would ever do this. Ow. Well, we went through some pretty miserable stuff right here, and we reached this point. First off, it's a cool little tunnel right there. carved out in this coconino sandstone. But this is a point that all those rocks on top there are completely loose. It probably doesn't look like much, but it's maybe, I don't know, 6 feet tall. And you might be able to stem across the walls, but the saddle is still really far, and then from the saddle you still need to go up a ridge to the summit, so we're not going to risk it. We're running out of time. There's also another way to the saddle from the other side, so we'll go up that way next time, and hopefully it's easier than this. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and please let me know your favorite part was in the comments. Although we did not make it to the summit today, this was both incredibly beautiful and very fun. Seeing the ancient rock art structures in agave roasting pit is like putting together pieces of an ancient puzzle. Join me next week for a second attempt to reach the summit.